Have you ever heard of a war where the primary weapon was hair pulling? Sounds bizarre, doesn't it? Well, buckle up for an unusual journey back to the early 40s. We're delving into the heart of South America, where the hair-pulling war, or La Guerra del Cabello Arrancado, as the locals called it, took place. A territorial disagreement between Peru and Ecuador in 1941 led to this unique conflict, a war that, despite its peculiar name, had nothing to do with literal hair pulling. The name, my friends, is a metaphor, a piece of historical satire that has stuck over the years. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why. This war, like any other, was fueled by political tensions, territorial disputes, and national pride. But it was its strange tactics that made it stand out from the rest. So, let's delve into the entangling history of the hair-pulling war. The roots of the hair-pulling war trace back to the uncertain borders left by the Spanish colonization. The Spanish, in their quest for gold and glory, carved up South America, with little regard for the complex societal and cultural landscapes. As a result, they sowed the seeds of many future conflicts, including the hair-pulling war. Peru and Ecuador, two nations sharing a rich and intertwined history, found themselves in a bitter dispute over their borders. The lines drawn by the Spanish centuries ago were ambiguous, leading to a series of misunderstandings and disagreements between the two countries. This tension was further exacerbated by the Treaty of Tumbes in 1938. The Treaty of Tumbes was designed to bring an end to the border disputes and foster peace. However, it fell short of its lofty ambitions. The treaty was vague, and its terms were open to interpretation. This led to more confusion rather than resolution, and the tensions between Peru and Ecuador only grew. In the years following the Treaty of Tumbes, the relationship between the two nations soured. Disputes over land rights and territorial sovereignty became increasingly heated, contributing to a climate of mistrust and hostility. Despite the intentions of those who drafted the Treaty of Tumbes, it failed to bring about lasting peace. Despite attempts at peace, the unresolved border issues set the stage for the hair-pulling war. In January 1941, the simmering tensions finally boiled over into full-fledged conflict. The landscape, once peaceful and serene, transformed into a battlefield. The initial skirmishes were chaotic and desperate. Both sides, lacking heavy weaponry, clashed in intense, close-quarters combat. The local population, caught in the crossfire, found themselves dragged into the escalating violence. Some joined the battles willingly, fueled by a fervor for their cause. Others were forced into the conflict, their hands bound by circumstance and survival. However, it wasn't the involvement of the locals that made this war stand out. It was the nature of the battles themselves. The scarcity of guns and artillery led to a reliance on hand-to-hand combat. In the heat of battle, soldiers would often resort to pulling each other's hair, using anything at their disposal to gain an advantage. This peculiar combat style, almost unheard of in modern warfare, lent the conflict its unique moniker, the hair-pulling war. The war was not just a series of battles. It was a struggle for survival, a test of endurance and resourcefulness. It was a war where soldiers did not just rely on their weapons, but on their will and wit. The war was a brutal and bizarre spectacle, earning its unique name from the peculiar combat style. The hair-pulling war, despite its odd name, had serious consequences. The aftermath was a time of deep reflection and negotiation. One such negotiation led to the signing of the Rio Protocol in 1942. This was an attempt to definitively establish the borders and bring an end to the tensions that had sparked the peculiarly named conflict. However, it seems that even the best-laid plans often go awry. Despite the intentions of the Rio Protocol, border disputes continued to be a thorn in the side of relations well into the late 20th century. These disputes, though less violent than the war itself, served as a reminder of the deep-seated issues that had once led to a conflict as strange as the hair-pulling war. It's a testament to the complexity of human relations and the lasting impact of seemingly small disputes. Thus ends the tale of the hair-pulling war, a conflict as peculiar as its name suggests.